The young man threw away the phone card he used to contact his parents. After obtaining his passport, he resolutely left home. His parents thought he was sulking against them, but when they went to his room to look for him, they found that he had been living in a dilapidated little room all along, and even his blanket was extremely thin. It was only then that they realized how hard his life had been all these years. The entire family finally came to a sudden realization, but it was all too late. It turned out that the young man's parents had always been working away from home. Having lived with his grandmother since childhood, he had always longed for his parents' company. In order for his parents to come back and see him, he studied diligently and scored full marks on every exam. But his parents always found excuses not to come home, either claiming that work was too busy or taking his younger siblings out to play, completely forgetting that he was also their son. It wasn't until the year the young man graduated from high school, when his parents returned home in a luxury car, the young man ran excitedly to the village entrance to greet them. But his parents only focused on talking with his younger siblings. Not only did they not inquire about how the young man had been faring all these years, they instead sent him home first, because they intended to take his younger siblings out for a feast. The young man's excitement instantly plummeted to the depths of despair, yet he still yearned for his parents to praise him, so he brought his college acceptance letter to show his parents, but unexpectedly overheard a conversation between his younger brother and his parents. Although his younger brother's grades were worse than his, their mother still favored the younger brother the most, not only saying that the young man was only good for studying and useless, but also planning to send his younger brother abroad for further education, so that he could eventually inherit the family business. When his younger brother worried that the young man might compete with him for the family inheritance, their father stated that if that were the case, he would sever ties with the young man. Then the father explained that his purpose for returning home this time was actually to donate money for the renovation of the ancestral hall. The young man was immediately filled with sorrow, only to realize that he had always been the extra one. Suddenly, a massive explosion occurred at a restaurant, and a circular plate pinned the young man's leg, rendering him immobile. Just as the building was about to collapse, his parents only thought of dragging his younger siblings to safety. The young man reached out to his parents for help, but they still chose to rescue the younger siblings first. Fortunately, some kind-hearted people rescued the young man and took him to the hospital, and when he woke up, he found only a doctor by his side. Suddenly, his mother called him, and the young man felt happy again, but his mother instructed him to go and take care of his injured younger brother right away, and the young man's heart immediately sank into despair. He clearly suffered from even more serious injuries, so he decided not to leave behind any attachments, and immediately called the foreign university, determining that he would go study abroad in 10 days. Perhaps his parents sensed that something was amiss, and they planned to change his surname back to his father's, since originally, because his parents had a second child, the young man had the same surname as his grandmother, and now his parents wanted him to revert to the original surname. The young man's long-awaited dream of over a decade was about to come true, yet he felt no joy whatsoever, so he threw the household registration documents his mother had given him into the trash, and without looking back, he walked into the exit entry administration to apply for a passport. After returning home, he tore up all the awards he had received over the years, and even burned the family portrait he had drawn, and finally went to say goodbye to his grandmother who had raised him. Then he took a bus and left his hometown.